Hi, I'm back in this room again, and today I'm kind of unhappy about it, because the episode where I first encountered it just went up about half an hour ago at the time I'm recording this. In the one after that, which hasn't gone up yet, I asked for some hints, but I was impatient. This room was just... Not being able to find a solution to this room was driving me nuts. I spent a whole lot of time on my own. Let's see, is there a way to see... Yeah, this is how long I've spent on this floor so far. Okay, so that's, what, like 42 more minutes than I actually recorded? No, more than that. So, anyway, could not find a solution. I tried everything I could possibly imagine. I went to the level editor and learned a little bit about Omblick behavior and Evil Eye behavior, tried to look for some way to make those two interact too. I mean, I could see pretty clearly what I had to do to get the caber. I need the caber to solve this room. I need to solve this room to clear the level so that these gates will drop and I can get down here. To get the caber in this room, I need to get through this passage, which requires getting the caber in this room. Caber is over here. It's behind this arrow, which requires that orb to open. To get to the orb, you have to have stepped on this pressure plate, which locks Beethrow into this little space where I thought I had no way to influence monster movement. It turns out... Right, so the reason I'm unhappy about this is because for the first time ever, I decided to go to the Caravel forums to get some hints to the solution, and none of the hints leading up to the actual solution were enough to get me to figure it out. So I kind of spoiled this one for myself. Up until this point in the room, I was very happy with how this room was constructed. But it turns out it uses pretty much my least favorite mechanic in the game to actually solve it. So it has to do with monster proximity. So I saw this platform, I knew I could move it to a place where the Omblick could move around, but I was thinking of like brained movement where he'd move back and forth, or something else I could do with diagonal movement that didn't actually work. But no, it's simpler and more annoying than that. So all I have to do, get rid of all the evil eyes. I'm going to move, let's see, I want this over here. So this creates a place where you can move up and down. And whether he's closer to the temporal projection or actual Beethrow determines which way he moves. So I just need to input some moves as if I'm pushed just up to the point of the pressure plate. So let's see, starting here. Okay. So I'm going to put this down, wait a couple of turns. Actually, wait several turns, and I'm going to move. Here, 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 and do that. So this is all familiar. We've done this already. The difference this time is that I'm going to push him just short of the pressure plate and stand in this space. And also that I've set this up this way. So I looked at this. I considered this as a possible solution, but the reason I don't like it, the reason it's my least favorite mechanic in the game, is because it's just not very discoverable. The way this is considered closer is not obvious and is really hard to count. Like in Euclidean distance, if I'm not mistaken, this is closer than that. Let me actually go get a ruler and check that. Yep, I just verified. So at my screen's resolution, the center of this Beethrow is about 19 centimeters away from the center of this Omblick. Center of this Beethrow is about 20.5 centimeters away from the center of this Omblick. So it doesn't measure distance that way. It does it by some other means that's not obvious, and that mechanic's not used in a lot of other places. I had to do a little bit with it in the Arcane Laboratory, and that was another room I didn't enjoy. But anyway, so yes, I can move here, and that'll cause you to move down. Then I move away, and for some reason he prefers the projection and goes up there. I move closer, and he does that. Now from here, it changes. I think it's because, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Did I count that right? Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So here they're the same distance away. Why does the Ontlik prefer the temporal projection? I don't know the answer to that. It's not obvious. It's not very discoverable. It's a mechanic that was only used once or twice before, and I don't like it. This is another reason I don't like puzzles that involve decoy potions, where you have to actually lure monsters to you. It's just... yeah, like I said, it's my least favorite mechanic in the game. So I'm unhappy about that. I'm unhappy that I had to look up a solution. And I'm unhappy that this room that I found so brilliant used something that is that annoying. Anyway, got the caber. Here's a tiny little secret passage. So finally I can move on with this. See, if this were closer to this area, or if that mechanic had been used more early, well, if it were closer, I guess it would change the, I did count and observe that this is like almost a perfect, what degree angle is that? It's 22.5 angle, 22.5 degree angle from the Ontlik. So I was using that to think, like, I can change the way it's facing. I observed that, and I thought I could use that to move him around without having to rely on this being closer, but no. Anyway. Another room that's made me kind of unhappy. Okay, so finally we get to do the caber version of these rooms. I don't think there's really anything to this. I don't even need to... All I need to do is clear that, which means I need to blow up that bomb, which means I do need to clear the... No. I needed that eye. Maybe I can use this one. So I think this is safe. Yep. Alright, that arrow's gone. So yeah, sorry if I kind of led you guys on by asking for hints and then not waiting for them to come, but this room really was just haunting me. Okay. Now I can finally clear this room properly. So let's see, how did I need to do that? That needs to be occupied by an evil eye. By an evil eye? Or by Beethrow? Not by Beethrow, because that closes that. Okay, let's see. So activated evil eye. Hang on, can a caber break... No, a caber can't break walls. Okay, that's interesting. So that means... I need to use a powder keg to kill those. Alright, that's doable. So you'll be my guy for going up here. I'll worry about that after I figure out how to deal with this. I'm pretty sure I know what to do. Like this, right? I think this will do it? No, that doesn't... Okay, so that doesn't trigger an explosion. Can I use those to blow open the walls there? Maybe I can. I need one, though, for this, so I can't use both of them for that. Okay, so you probably need to stand there. which seems like a problem given the way you're facing. Okay, you're not my guy for this. You're for that. But I can't get here without you seeing me. I can't step here without dying. Oh, do I have a problem here? I do seem to have a problem here. Because due to your orientation, you really can't hold down either of these pressure plates while I go through this passage. And there's no other way through here, because that... Wait, or can I weigh this down? No, but that closes that. Alright, so hang on. Right, if I blow both of these up to get myself in here, then I don't have one to use on the beacon. The only way in there is to have those arrows like that, so I really do need one in there. Okay, just to verify. Evil eyes do not see through powder kegs. Okay, I just learned something. See, now that's a mechanic that's reasonably discoverable. I can see their line of sight. Ooh. I need to... Wait, how do I do this? If I do this, and then this, and then that... Yes, he hasn't seen me yet. Okay. Alright, there we go. Powder kegs are opaque. Alright, so those are dealt with. Now you need to see me and come in here. For this, I need to go around. Wasn't there another room that I did? Like, was it a secret room in the city beneath, maybe, that was in the same shape as this? The Dungeon Architect's seal? I think it was. Beacon is deactivated. Now, you come out this way. And I still have a no, I don't have a problem. You come out the other way. Okay, so this room is cleared and will stay cleared, and now I leave with a sword. And that's okay because of the arrow. That protects me. Okay, so we need to do the temporal projection trick again here. No, wait, don't I need the pickaxe for this? There's some crazy thing I need to do... Yeah, that's the only thing that toggles that. Well, let me just go ahead and clear it before I worry about that. But I think I do have a problem there. So, yeah, not done with this room yet. Still complicated. So all I need to do I need to kill everything, hit the beacon, and get to an exit. Which exit? Pickaxe exit is the easiest, and that's the way I wanted to go anyway, so that's what I'll do. Staff exit... No, staff exit requires pickaxe or caber. Okay. Caber exit requires that nonsense, and, well, it requires a staff and all that other nonsense I saw before. Okay. So you just sit there for a little while. Keep him stunned while I get through. I'm not sure I need you for anything else. I might, but I'll worry about that when the time comes. Right, I don't need that, because I'm just getting in here. So that's clear. That'll stay clear. And I will exit via the pickaxe path. This room's still clear, so I get to come through here and hit that. That doesn't help me. Ah, I understand. Okay, okay. All I need to do is this, wait quite a while, and then do that. Just need enough time to step in the pressure plate up there. Okay. Cool. Done with that room at last. Who are you? Ah, right, they're the people who are falling behind to watch me clear the dungeon, or whatever.
Here he comes! All right, people. Seems I have a show to put on, and I don't got all day. Follow me.
See, these are all the people who are in the cat. Well, where's Bombus and King Dugan?
Collect the surfaces.
Stop! No!
Operation successfully underway. Initiate collection.
Help!
Operation proceeding. Commence collection.
Help!
Event successful. Collect all the bones. Help! Operation commenced. Collect simple ones.
Stop! Wait!
Mission underway.
Ah!
Collect inhabitants. Operation complete.
I later found out that things hadn't gone well. The patrons had gathered up most everyone surface-wide. I'd failed them. My task now was to band together with whoever else had escaped the patrons and gone beneath, and try to survive.
Okay, that's interesting. So, based on what I saw there, okay, Twano was empty because they had already captured everyone from Twano. All the other places had people in them, so my guess is, to get a better ending, basically what I do is go to all those places, help them out, tell them what's going on, and get them out. In the case of Twano, we have the extra step of actually rescuing the people who were already captured. Okay. Interesting. So that's the bad ending to the game. I have a long road here. I'm just going to say now, my guess is to fully conquer this hold, it's going to be close to 100 episodes. This is what, 62? So seriously, I have a long way to go yet. Maybe not quite 100, but it's at least a couple of dozen more. happy to learn that life is a puzzle. It was built just for him, so maybe nothing makes sense. Maybe it seems like a bunch of random events come your way, but if you keep at it, if you don't give up, then someday you might find there's a method behind the apparent randomness. Perhaps there's even some grand design in the end, a unified construction framing everything, a universal architecture upon which everything is built. Bethro learned that if you persevere, you eventually understand, you can make sense of the part you are playing, the pieces, players, and linchpins come into focus. Then you know what to do to solve the puzzle of life.
It's a fact, he was hooked up in a vat, his birth was planned, it's sad. See the truth, he emerged out with the blue, that he stands here is the proof. Yes it's true, he grew up inside us too, it's the first thing we all do. We confirm that he learned every step of knowledge earned while inside a bull he turned. Things we knew as we grew loomed inside our heads, learning time in the slime from the bats, our beds starting fresh in the flesh, starting with a Joe standing up, stepping out, fully formed adults. It's a fact, he was hooked up in a vat, his birth was planned, it's sad. See the truth, he emerged out with the blue, that he stands here is the proof. Yes it's true, he grew up inside us too, it's the first thing we all do. We confirm that he learned every step of knowledge earned while inside a bull he turned. Things we knew as we grew loomed inside our heads, learning time in the slime from the bats, our beds starting fresh in the flesh, starting with a Joe standing up, stepping out, fully formed adults. It's a fact, he was cooked up in a vat. His birth was planned, it's sad. See the truth, he emerged out with the proof that he stands here is the proof. Yes, it's true, he grew up inside us too. It's the first thing we all do. We confirm that he learned every step of knowledge earned while inside a bull he turned. Things we knew as we grew loomed inside our heads. Learning time in the slime from the bats. Our beds starting fresh in the flesh. Starting with a joke, standing up, stepping out, fully formed adults.
Ah, lovely credit sequence as always in these games. It was nice to see some of those names of people who have sort of become my friends over the course of me playing through these games on YouTube. So it's cool that that's a thing that's happened. A couple of interesting things stood out to me there. One was that there is a portrait for a brain. Have we ever seen a brain say something? I can't remember any lines of dialogue that came from a brain. So either that's unused, or I've forgotten that I've seen it, or it's something that I haven't encountered yet. Which is interesting. And another thing is, when I saw the voice credit for the critic, it made me realize that we have not heard from her in a very long time. Last time I remember seeing her was in... Let's see, I think I can actually probably find it here. It was it the Scorching? No, it wasn't the Scorching. Fire Hotlands, maybe? Yeah, this room where Beethro kind of told her off. I don't think she actually showed up ever since there, so I guess she really took that to heart, and I don't know what. I'm hoping I'll encounter her somewhere else in the story. Anyway, that was lovely. I'm still a little unhappy about how that one room went, but everything else about that was pretty great. So, that's the bad ending. I have a lot of... I have a lot of work left to do to get a better ending. So I'd want to restore back to Lonely Campsite. No, not here. Back to here. Now, I think at this point... At this point, the hold complete gate, or whatever it is, should be open because I've already cleared Castle Dugan. Although it's in a later save, so I'm not quite sure how that works. Anyway, right, it won't be open because I haven't completed the hold yet, so I have a lot more to do. So next destinations, other than the optional ones, I'll certainly want to go through the optional ones, but the ones that have to do with the story, I guess, are Seeding Grounds and Frozen Wood, which is an optional place. What does that say? Emissary Island? Yeah, so Seeding Grounds would be my next destination as far as progressing the story. I have only 4 RCS stamps. I think there's one more nonogram here I can solve.
Step this way.
And this seems like a good time to do it.
Gather more RC.
So that one's done. This one's not done. I totally did this. Do I? Oh, hang on. I need to actually restore to... If I restore to here, will that be solved? Because, yeah, this is a later point than Lonely Campsite, I think.
Step this way. gather more Arceus.
No. Did I just never do this one? No, I totally did this. This was a Force Arrow. I remember. So, do I need to restore to... here? Or here? Yeah, I need to restore to here. That's what it is. Okay. Alright, so this is my furthest point, I guess. Alright, so let me go ahead and solve this. Yeah, there we go. Because this is the last one that I have access to right now. I kind of feel like I solved this one already, though, didn't I? No, I guess I must not have. Alright, well, let's do it. So 6, there's a start. 2, 2, doesn't tell me anything. 2, 4, 2. Yeah. Alright. Two, 2, 1, don't know. 4. So that helps with this. That means it's definitely those. That's a 1. Could be 1, 2, 1, 2. Or this could be the second 2 going either direction, so I don't have any new information about that. I do have what I need to solve that, though. So this is a 2, this is a 2. Here we go, okay. So we know that much about that. Is this side the same? Yes. This 4 tells me those 2, which means those rows, those columns are solved. Only one way this can fit. That's a 2, then there's a 1. No, 2, 2, 1. So no new information here. 3, 2. Let's see, I do have some new information here, because that's a 4, so it has to occupy both of those. Same over here. And that means this row is fulfilled. Does that get us closer here? Yeah, I know this is a 2, which means that goes like that. 2, 4, 2, 3, 3. Four, that's filled out. That's a 3, so those are filled. Now what? 2, 2, 1. So that's done. 3, 2, 1, 1. Okay, here we go. There's that. If those are 4s, they go like this. Those are 2s, so they go like that. Okay, here we go. Ray gun? More crazy weaponry. Wow. I think I anticipated that people would have a reaction to that. So let's see, the things we unlocked were darts, ray gun, Beethro's mansion, and one other, I think.
Gather more RCS
Yeah.
stamps. to
Gather
help.
more RCS stamps to find stuff.
Welcome to the RCS. Good fortune in.
Can I skip this? Yes. Oh, flower bed, I guess, is the other one. Sounds interesting. Still a lot to do in darts. It looked like a very large place. I'm really curious about Beethar's mansion. But I think that's good enough for today. I'm more inclined to continue with the story than go full on into the optional content for now. That's sort of something, until I run out of story stuff to do, that's something I'll do as a detour when I'm stuck on other stuff. Like when I went into the darts level last episode and I could not figure out this thing in King Dugan's dungeon. Anyway, so yeah, I think Seeding Grounds will be up next. Where's Seeding Grounds? Here it is. I don't actually remember Seeding Grounds at all. Let me just take a peek in here. No, that might... Okay, no, I'm not going to click on this until next time. But yeah, I will see you guys then.